Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. You can tell when my hair is still wet, that means that I rushed out here to do this story. It means like I just could not wait to get out here, that I had a lot of issues, a lot of things on my mind that I needed to talk about. So I've been up for about 2 hours now, looking through different news feeds, looking for stories to talk to you guys about. And it didn't take me long to find one. This story has been out for I'd say about 36 hours now, and it's kind of evolved a little bit. It is just, I don't even know the adjectives to describe it. It's horrifying. It's like a freaking horror movie watching this. It's terrifying that Americans are doing this to each other. All right, the links are down below. I came across this story yesterday for the first time I'd say about 36 hours ago, 24 hours ago, 24 to 36 hours ago. And it's kind of evolved a little bit, but it's still terrifying. When I came across this story is about an Ohio man, Caucasian man, an older 81-year-old William Brock in Ohio. And apparently he let me tell you the story first, as I read it yesterday. And it's about a Uber driver, a black lady, 61-year-old Lalitha Hall. She's an Uber driver. Now, I read this story first in The Root, which is basically, I think it's a more black-orientated media site that I like to read. It's more stories dealing with the black community. And a lot of the media outlets, including NBC, CNN, described this story in the same way yesterday, as kind of like a confused white man. Now, Lalitha Hall, 61-year-old black woman driving the Uber, she got a call to go. Apparently, now yesterday it said got a call to go pick up a package from Mr. William Brock. So she shows up there, and he comes out of the house with a revolver. And he starts threatening her, and she starts screaming for help. I don't know how many she's screaming, help me, help. She says it at least a dozen times, and he chases her around her car. Now they're off camera. This is the part that just it makes me crazy. It's like something out of a horror movie. You hear Lalitha begging for her life in this video. It's just how this man could do this, I have no idea. And she's saying, please, sir, please don't. And then you hear the gun go off. Boom, boom. No, and you hear her whimper. Her shouts of help me, go to like almost like a wounded animal, like ah. And I can't put words to the emotions I felt listening to this. She's still alive after 2. This is all off camera now. And she's begging for her life. And he's asking for her for a phone. And I swear to God, this is off camera. I hear him mock her. She's whimpering after she's been shot twice already. And he goes, ah, and you hear him mock her. And then he's asking for her phone. And she's saying, please, sir, please, you can have it. You can see. And because he seems to think that she's a scammer, that he says he claims he was getting phone calls, and initially these are like the scams for the senior citizens. And me and my mother have talked about this before, because this is a common scam where somebody calls up claiming to be associated with like a son, a younger person. They target older people, and they say, well, your son is in jail and he needs, or they say that they are me or are the son or the daughter, and that they need money for bail. And then apparently, according to news reports, it turned into just a straight up ransom hostage type call, where if you don't give us money, we're gonna do away with your relative, whoever it was. Now, when this story first came out, it came out yesterday as a confused older white man just chasing around an Uber driver. Now, the story evolves more that both of these people, that there was somebody behind the scenes that was kind of using both these people. They called up the Uber driver, Lalitha, to go pick this package up, and they called this older white man. When the story first came out yesterday, it was just a story about some kind of confused white man thinking that she was a scammer, and it didn't really talk about the phone calls and the ransom and all that. And the story evolved. Actually, like on TMZ, there's two different stories. They put out two. They kind of corrected themselves. When the story first came out, it was just it was more of a racial story yesterday, where the media sites that put it out yesterday were like, look at this confused older white guy just chases this black, and then they put other stories about other Uber drivers, other black people that have had the same issues of being shot by white people. And then it evolved more into a story about somebody kind of pulling the strings from the outside. You know, somebody that kind of played both these people. But here's the thing that I just can't get over, is the way that this older white man just has I mean, I honestly, I hate to say this, I think he would give like a dog in the street, he would give it more sympathy and emotion than he gave this poor woman. Hearing her voice, hearing her plead for her life, and then just hearing her voice change as she's shot, and then hearing him mock her. And I had to ask myself this, seriously. If this was a 5 foot tall little blonde lady with a button nose and blue eyes, a little 25-year-old woman, would have been the same outcome? You know, he shows no. I don't think I could do this. I don't think, even if it involved my relatives, if somebody was begging and pleading for their life in front of me like this, you know, at least you know. And this woman had no means to protect herself. She was totally unarmed, and he chases her around the car, and just hearing her voice it's appalling. And it just it scares me to live in this country, honestly, at this point. I see these stories more and more, especially like in the southern states, in Florida, with this stand your ground. I've talked about this before in some of the shows I've been watching on E&E, these real court cases where people keep claiming this stand your ground law, even when they confront other people on the road, or a tenant landlord situation where the landlord claims he was defending himself when he busts into his tenant's apartment demanding rent and then offs the guy. It's scary, and this is one of the most disgusting, horrifying, terrifying videos I've ever heard / watched. It'll be down below. Let me know what you think. I don't know what else to say about this. It's disgusting, and I really, honestly, I think Fox News, I think a lot of the right-wing media and Donald Trump are directly to blame for this. The way they dehumanize anybody that isn't from nice. Donald Trump actually used this. He said, why can't we get immigrants from nice countries like Norway and Sweden and Finland? And he calls people of color, brown, black, animals and criminals, and older people, like people I've talked about this before. This man is almost the same exact age as my mother, my family member, and it scares me to think that media outlets and people like Donald Trump are scaring the older generation, the baby boomers, and the baby boomers are terrifying them with these stories. And this is the kind of things they should be held responsible for this. Donald Trump and Fox News and other right-wing media outlets should be held responsible for a lot of this violence that's occurring, this paranoia, this witch hunt, so as to use Donald Trump's own words. All right, let me know what you think. I'll be back later with another video. Have a good Wednesday.